What's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, coming back at you on another Thursday evening, the Thursday of April 16th, 2020, which means it's time for another issue of the Bungie Weekly Blog, This Week at Bungie. And this one is not the most news-filled twab we've ever gotten. It's really only covering two big topics. The revelation of Guardian Games, which is going to be starting next week on April 21st, and a bit of a look into the fundraising effort Bungie has started called the Guardian's Heart Charity Initiative. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Announced earlier this morning, Guardian Games is fast on approach. Beginning April 21st at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, the games will begin. Titans, Hunters, and Warlocks will compete to prove which class is the most dedicated in Destiny 2. Earlier today, we got an article and a trailer for this incoming spring event that showed off some of the new armor, ornaments, tower decorations, and even gave us a sneak peek at what's going to be going on in the Guardian Games next week. Your entry into the competition begins with a visit to Ava Levante. Each Guardian will receive a class item to adorn while taking part in the competition. Bronze, silver, and gold medals will be available to earn daily, each of which will focus on specific game modes. To earn medals, equip your new class item, defeat enemies, pick up laurels on the battlefield, and advance your quest for the medals you desire. So the Guardian Games, in essence, are going to be kind of like a Guardian Destiny version of the Olympics, where the challenge is going to be between the three main classes, Titans, Hunters, and Warlocks. And you'll be able to take part in this competition repping the class of your choice by defeating enemies, completing challenges, and collecting laurels while wearing specific gear. It's basically going to be the biggest popularity contest in the history of Destiny, which for those of you out there in the know might ring a few red alarms, since we generally do know that Hunters are greatly overrepresented within the player population for Destiny 2. Thankfully, Bungie already knows that. They go on to state that we fully acknowledge that class populations are a little lopsided. Hunters are so fabulous with their capes that there are indeed more of them than Warlocks or Titans. To help offset this, so Hunters don't steal the show every day, medals will be weighted slightly per class to maintain an even playing field. We aren't fiddling with the numbers to force wins on alternative classes. Hunters could still take this entire thing if they put enough effort in. Now, about those class items. At Daily Reset, your cloak, mark, or bond will update to reflect what placement your team has taken. As an example, if Titans took the dub for one day, their mark will update with a wonderful gold sigil. With Warlocks in second and Hunters in third, their class items will be updated to feature silver and bronze respectively. So, what's the ultimate prize? At the end of the event, your daily placements will be combined for a final score. Depending on your team standings, your class item will be locked to their respective placements for the remainder of the year. So whatever place your class happen to be in, let's say Warlocks happen to get in first place, you Warlocks class item will stay gold for the rest of the year. Meanwhile, Hunters and Titans will be in, silver or bronze based on whatever placement they got into. If you're looking for more ways to represent your class, Ava has you covered. Each week, you'll be offered a free quest to earn an exotic ghost shell, one theme to each Guardian class. Complete this quest every week to collect all three. And then, of course, we get a great look at what these ghost shells themselves are going to look like. It's awesome. We've got the lion crest for Titans, the snake crest for Hunters, and of course, the eagle crest for Warlocks. And of course, additionally, a new exotic machine gun will become available during this event. That exotic machine gun, of course, is the Heir Apparent, which we also get a great look at in the article here today and of course on the trailer that we got earlier today. It's a really interesting exotic solar machine gun, and we go into greater detail about its abilities and its catalyst in the video that we made earlier today. There'll be a link to all that kind of stuff down in the description box below. Make sure you go check it out. Anyways, it wouldn't be an event in Destiny if there weren't also some brand new Eververse gear. So Eververse will also have some items in store for the event. A single finisher will be available for silver only, while all other items may be purchased with Bright Dust as they appear on the storefront. As a note, All Guardian Games weekly and repeatable bounties will grant Bright Dust to match previous seasonal events. So there's only going to be one new Eververse item introduced for silver only. Everything else is going to be available via Bright Dust. So if you've got a stockpile of Bright Dust stored up, you'll be able to purchase all that stuff using that currency. Also really happy to know that the bounties that are going to be tied to this event are going to be dropping some Bright Dust as well. I still think that there needs to be more Bright Dust sources out in the open game right now. But anyways, good change on that. Guardian Games is set to begin upon the weekly reset this coming Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Make sure to launch your game a little early to grab the required update 2.8.1 before you try to play. And there we go, Guardians. That's a quick rundown of the Guardian Games spring event set to launch next week. Really looking forward to this one. I think it's kind of an interesting idea to basically hold a massive competition between players to see what the most popular class is. This is actually kind of what I envisioned for faction rallies when they initially talked about those before the full release of Destiny 2. So I think it's interesting to see that they're incorporating this type of concept here with this oncoming spring event. Should be a lot of fun. Moving on from there, we have one other thing to talk about this week, and that is, of course, Bungie's Guardian's Heart charity initiative. This is, of course, Bungie's ongoing fundraising relief effort that has already generated over $450,000 in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. For those who may not be up to speed, for this fundraising effort, Bungie's partnered with Direct Relief, who will work with a network of providers across the globe to deliver the supplies that healthcare workers need. This includes basic personal protective equipment, including gloves, masks, gowns, and face shields. The hospitals where they work will also receive food covers, prescription medication, portable oxygen concentrators, ventilators, and other intensive care unit equipment. It's certainly a worthy cause in the face of everything that's going on right now. But as usual with these sorts of things, if you participate in the fundraiser, there are some in-game rewards for you. Any donation of $20 or more will earn you the exclusive Guardian's Heart emblem. And as a quick note, these will be distributed by Bungie within a week of your donation, so make sure you keep an eye out, as the email may be filtered to promotional or even the spam folders of your inbox. But that's not all. To help raise awareness and share some of the community action, Bungie is also going to be hosting a series of Bungie Bounties for as long as this fundraising initiative lasts. And this isn't going to be restricted to North American Guardians. This is a worldwide effort, so we'll naturally have some international bounties for you to chase. We're getting some final details together for the full calendar. Stay tuned to find out who you'll be chasing over the next week. And lastly, we're also partnering with Guardians around the world to host a variety of Destiny streams that feature raid challenges, dungeon runs, and more. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities for the community to get involved here. I love this. This is a fantastic way to kind of reach out and lend a helping hand to those who are most in need right now. So if you're interested in helping out in the fundraiser for the relief efforts, you can find all that information and more in the link to the TWAB down in the description box below. The Destiny community always blows it out of the water whenever it comes to any sort of fundraising effort for charity. And I know we'll do the same thing here. But alright, that's pretty much it for the biggest bits of news. There was one last thing that I kind of wanted to talk about in this week's TWAB, and it has to do with the ending of the TWAB. Of course, there are a lot of people who have a lot of concerns, we'll say, with the game right now, whether it be the state of trials, connections and matchmaking in the Crucible, or the massive amount of cheating going on between the platforms. There are a lot of things that need addressing, and unfortunately, they can't all be addressed at the same time. One of those things, or rather 3 of those things, are 3 problem children within the sandbox: Telesto, Winter's Guile, and Worm God Caress. Well, they're back up to their old shenanigans. Winter's Guile and Worm God are back to stacking their damage buffs, and so have been disabled for the time being. But I know there was a lot of Guardians out there who are waiting to hear back from Bungie about some of those other important issues, and I thought it was interesting and important that Dylan addressed that here in the TWAB. So I'm just going to go through exactly what he had to say. So, we come to a close on another TWAB, but we understand that there are some topics that weren't covered on here that you may have strong desire to know more about. Eververse, Trials improvements, our plans to address FOMO, the fear of missing out, tackling the bounty problem, and more. There are also questions like, what about feeling like players can't play their way? What about ritual weapons, anti-cheat improvements, etc.? We've been having frequent syncs to talk through these issues and more. Many of them require a long-term plan with short-term mitigation to help ease the pain. The last thing we want to do is overcommit to changes that ultimately may be reversed, or sign the team up for work that leads to crunch. We don't want to make promises we know we can't keep, so to speak. Over the next few weeks, we hope to solidify some plans and get them communicated out. We're looking at what can be accomplished in Season 11, which is coming much faster than many of us can believe. Some topics will be tackled in Season 12, as they'll require larger-scale systematic changes. Thank you again to everyone that's been giving feedback on Destiny over the years. The train never stops, and we hope to share our next steps with you soon. Until next time, we'll see you out there in the wild. And there we go. I thought that was pretty important to let you know that they are listening, they are hearing people's complaints about the state of the game, and they are working towards making tangible changes to the game in a timely fashion. So if you've got opinions, if you've got feedback for the state of the game, continue giving them that feedback in a respectful manner. But alright Guardians, that's it for the news, and those are my thoughts. Be sure to leave me yours down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. How do you feel about Guardian games? Are you excited about the upcoming spring event? Be sure to let me know. But I'm out for now. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.